Hello everyone, welcome to Fine Moon Rising. This is Capricorn's June 2025 Tarot and Energy Sigil. So I am pulling cards to direct your sigil. You do have the Eight of Pentacles, the Justice, Two of Pentacles, Eight of Cups. Okay, so things have been feeling out of balance. You might be juggling people and possibly legal or other financial matters, just kind of walking that tightrope. All right, so you will be stripping away the junk that is holding you back and stepping into a time of kind of unknown. It's kind of a time of adventure, a time of I'm just kind of done with the juggling. I'm done with push and pull energy, and you kind of get things together and then you move from there. So the sigil that I have drawn for you and as a result of the cards is I start fresh. So I crossed out all the vowels and kept the consonants, removed any repeat consonants, and then drew a sigil on a little sticky for you. You can do this at home, pretty easy. So, all right. So while I'm drawing that out for you, let's go into the astrology for the month of June. You do have Jupiter in Cancer. It's increased potential for love and career as well. Mid-month, you'll have greater business prowess, kind of greater influence on your career environment. There is a little bit more stress, and we talked about push and pull energy. It showed up in the sigil, and I believe it's showing up in your tarot deck. I've pulled your deck, and you'll be seeing a picture of your tarot momentarily. So the stress of June is contradicted by Venus. Venus is transiting through your sign, and that not only allows huge career strides, it enables you to create bold advances forward in career, but it also kind of pulls you back into this feeling of feeling relaxed and confident. So there's this push and pull energy of the stress of moving forward and people's kind of pressures that they're trying to place on you, which, we can't control what people do. We can only control how we react. So there's like a push and a pull. I just put everybody's high emotions away from you and then focus on yourself and how you're reacting. But overall, because of Venus and that calming energy, you will feel a sense of ease this month, a sense of relaxation of the stress that you may have been feeling. Okay, so you will be leaving behind May's insecurities. So if you might have felt unsure in May, June, you'll feel confident. You're just going to roll with everything. Okay, so let's see. At the end of the month, it's a good idea to take a step back, and any obstacles that present themselves, and they're not big, they're very small, just take a step back, see the big picture, and see what you can do about them from that standpoint. Don't get involved in the nitty-gritty and people's high emotions and any of that stuff. Just stay out of that you don't need to be in that. You have bigger fish to fry, you have a big picture, you have big goals. And so taking a step back will also aid in that relaxation that you are going to be feeling this month. Okay, let's move on to the tarot here, and you should probably be seeing the tarot shortly. You start with the Page of Coins, and that's your starting point of, I'm just embarking on shaping my reality this month. It's almost like you've had too many feelings of insecurities in May, and so June, you're kind of just rebounding from that, and you're like, you know what? I'm getting my stride back. I'm getting my confidence back. Maybe you're becoming healthier. Maybe you're feeling healthier. Maybe the weather's better. You're outside more. You're communing with nature. Maybe you just feel a lot better. Maybe there's others around you that are kind of contributing to your mental health and well-being. So just kind of starting right there. The 10 of Cups can help you, and that is in a loving environment. Try and affect your environment as much as you can. Infuse warmth, happiness. There's a feeling of getting rid of junk. So if you need to do that, just get rid of stuff that's in the way, that's old, that's tattered, that needs to be replaced, that kind of thing. In the past, you did have the Queen of Wands. I think last month, you might have felt just kind of out of sorts. Maybe it was just the end of a cycle, something like that, out of sorts feeling. and you just kind of were a bit quiet, kind of aloof. And I think now you're opening up again to those around you and your friends. Okay, so let's get to the overall energy as well before we continue on. I do have the Knight of Cups, the Two of Wands, as well as the Knight of Swords. I feel like things are moving very quickly, but this is a time for you to start any creative projects. And I think there's just a lot of movement around you, a lot of movement within you. I think you're just kind of sharing. You might be feeding off of energy of others at this time. And so you're like, that's why I say stay out of other people's emotions. They might be being crazy around you and you don't really need to be involved in that. And you just need to maintain your peace, maintain your well-being, do things that are benefiting you as well, because you do need to, take steps back every once in a while to observe the situation in order to make those proper decisions that you need to make. Okay, in your subconscious, you do have the Six of Cups. There's a feeling of looking towards the past. It's almost like you need to revive something, you forgot about something. So there is something here about you not reliving the past, but there's something that you have forgotten. Maybe you have forgotten a hobby that you really liked. Maybe that's going to provide some relaxation for you, but there's something here like you're remembering something or someone or just the feeling of that particular time. And that's going to be on the forefront for you. You might be looking for something that's similar. Maybe your cat died and you would like to, get another cat or a dog or whatever, your fish, something. All right, Death card. You do have the death card in your conscious reality. This just means that you're transforming, and I think it's just you had a mini setback in May, and now you're moving out of that, and now you're, mini to mid, I'd say. You're moving out of that. Something just stymied you, and I think you're just coming out of that cycle, and I think you're coming back into yourself. So there is some you're looking to transform. You're looking to improve your health, well-being, and your future prosperity. You are actively looking for that. And the reason I say that is because you do have the Ace of Coins coming in your very near future. June's going to be prosperous. You're going to bloom in your business. You're going to find people who, are wanting to talk to you, wanting to reach out to you. You're going to find your niche. You're going to find that your role, you're going to keep rolling. So career moves, if there's anything you need to ask for, any training you need to take, anything like that. Also money investments. Where are you investing your money? That type of thing. And so you're actively working on that. There's going to be a lot of energy for that. And you'll see the tarot right here. Okay. You have the Judgment card in reverse. I'm not doing reversals. This one wanted to show up in reverse. It means it's not an end to a cycle. It means something's not dead, done, over with. There is something from the past that is lurking around. And I feel like it's something that isn't negative. I just feel like sometimes when you encounter it, it makes you feel not so wonderful. And so you're kind of feeling like, how can I tweak the situation? How can I get out of a cycle? How can I move forward? I want to transform. I want to do things differently. I want to change my life. I want to be different. And you're going to be taking those steps, planning to do that. Okay. You do have the Nine of Cups here. And that's your environment. And so that is very much, you want to have balance. And in the Sigil, we did have that Justice card where we are kind of lacking balance. So there might be some paperwork things, some lingering legal things that have been just out in the open. And I feel like to free your heart, you're going to be taking hold of those things that are just like outstanding, even junk around you that needs to go, things that need to be fixed, on your person. Maybe you need to go to the gym or do something. There's something here about really taking care of yourself as well. It's something that is kind for your heart. So advice, which is super weird, is the Nine of Swords, and I hate when this comes up in advice. But for you, I just feel like there's an end to the problem. I think you just haven't really known how to deal with a certain situation. So I feel like there's an end to a problem, and it's kind of like it's been keeping you up at night, kind of bothering you. Like you can't get your stride just yet. And I feel like there's going to be an end to that. You're finally going to have that epiphany, and it may even wake you up at night and just say, hey, you know what? This is what needs to happen. Here's the idea, and stuff is going to come to you. So everything is going to come to you in its own time. And so I feel like you will receive the answers that you need. I think you will receive the ideas, the steps, to take those steps, to formulate a plan of action, to transform yourself into whatever it is you desire. I feel like this is very manifesting energy for you. And then you come to the Eight of Coins. It is a bit of a start over. but it's a start over with experience. So the ending of your reading is actually, you know, like and then this card, it's got a guy with some coins, and he is looking at a ledger, you know, so he's kind of paying attention. So I feel like the transformation has to do with your finances, has to do with how you're handling your affairs. And I feel like the ideas are going to come that are going to give you that spark of inspiration, that you're going to now be able to get over those hurdles and any obstacles. Of course, pull yourself out of it. Don't get in the nitty gritty, especially if people around you, say family members or something like that, or your partner are kind of like, you know, crazy about things. Sometimes if you just look at the big picture of things, you can kind of narrow back in on what you need to do next. And so I feel like it's a very lucrative time for you, but it's like, I think there's a feeling of you wanting to move ahead very quickly, and not everything is known, but it will be known. You'll be able to transform. You will be able to go ahead and end that cycle. And I feel like maybe at the end of June is going to start that cycle ending time. Excuse me. And so I feel like this is a transformation reading, but it's like you are building up to it. It's like seeing what you need to do and seeing how you need to affect the change. And I feel like that's the direction that you're heading. And I don't think it's negative. I think you want things to go faster, but I think that it's going to be all in its own time. But you definitely have a focus on your finances, and you have a focus on your well-being, especially your mental well-being. So, okay, Capricorn, if you enjoyed this reading, please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.